Hey everyone, it's Shannon from Create Kids Couture, and today I'm going to show you how to create this awesome fringe on the bottom of this dress. What I used was Allie's for this dress. It's an awesome knit dress pattern. It's A-line shape. It has sleeve options and hood option, and it also has a full ruffled dress option. So it has tons of possibilities. I chose to make just the sleeveless, simple A-line, no hood, no extra options, just plain Jane, because I knew that I wanted this fringe to be the center of the attention. So what I did was I just sewed the dress, followed all the instructions. Instead of hemming the bottom of it, I just left it plain. And what I did, because it's an A-line, it's a little bit tricky. I figured I wanted about 4-inch ruffles, and I measured the bottom of it, and I marked every 1/2 inch. And then I counted how many marks I had made, and I measured up here, the top part, and I took that measurement and divided it by how many tick marks I made. And then I knew that whatever that number was, which was I think like 0.45, that's how many inches I had to go to make each mark up here, because obviously since it's an A-line, it's a little bit shorter up here than it is up here. So it was super easy to do. Once I made all those marks, I knew exactly how to cut up and which line to cut to. It was just simply cutting from dot to dot. And as you can see, if you look closely, like, they're not all perfectly straight, but it doesn't matter because when you're wearing it, you don't notice it. So it's a really awesome thing to do, because it doesn't have to be super precise or exact. When I did the sides, because obviously there's a seam there, I just kept that as one big piece. So it was folded, and I just cut up the first mark. So it's bigger. I took my iron and I ironed this so it's like that, and it kind of hides it, or at least it keeps it flat. And yeah, that's how I did this A-line. So if you have a dress that's not an A-line, then you simply just mark the ticks at the bottom, mark the ticks at the top, and you can just cut straight up. And it's just as easy. So I hope you guys try this out. You can do it with any knit pattern that you want, and you should have awesome results. But it has to be knit, because if you don't use knit, it will fray. That could be a cute look too. I guess it just depends on the look that you're going for. But with knit, it should wash well, dry well, look cute, and no fraying. And today I'm going to be showing you how to add a fringe to the side seam of a topper dress. I recommend using knit, and I am doing the Charities top with the handkerchief bottom. We don't have any sleeve patterns in the charity top, but it's fall here and I definitely wanted sleeves, so I'm using the Allie's sleeve. You can use any of our knit sleeves from any of our patterns, and that should work out just fine. Okay, so I cut out my pieces, the front and back, and I cut out my sleeves. And for the fringe panel, what I did was I measured the side seam here, and I knew that I wanted it to be about elbow length, so I kind of eyeballed it and chose like right here, I think, which was 10 inches. And so I did 16 by 10 inches. And so far I have it nearly finished. I just have to fringe the side panels now. How I sewed it together was I put the fringe panel all along the side seam, and I sandwiched it before I sewed it together. You want to make sure that the panel is in between the two layers with the raw edges matched up. Okay, so here I am at this point. I am really good with rotary cutters, so I prefer to use a rotary cutter for this step. If you don't feel as comfortable using a rotary cutter, you can definitely use scissors. What I recommend doing is marking your fabric every 1/2 inch at the bottom, and then marking it every 1/2 inch at the seam, and then you can and then you can take your scissors and cut up to the top. If you aren't super perfect with your cutting, it doesn't matter, because nobody's gonna see that. It's just fringe and it's knit fabric, and it's probably gonna roll a little bit, which is perfectly okay. That's the look we're going for. If you are comfortable using a rotary cutter, such as myself, I'm just going to do the same exact thing basically. I'm just going to use my little ruler here and cut up every 1/2 inch. You have to be super careful not to run into the fabric or the side seam, because if you do that, you will cut into your fabric for the actual shirt, and that will be horrible. You don't want an error like that, because you can't really fix it. So you just keep cutting all the way down, and like I said, it does not have to be perfect. If when you're done, I'm not going all the way to the edge, obviously, like I said, because I don't want any accidents. So at the end, if I'm not happy with where these are all ended, because you want to make sure they look pretty similar, they end at the same spot, you can just trim, you know, to where you want it to go. And I will show you what this looks like when I'm done. Okay, and when I got to the edge here, these two are a little bit smaller, but again, nobody's gonna notice. So just slowly pull one at a time off, give it a little pull, make sure everything's nice and separated. And this will help the edges curl a little bit, giving them a nice pull like this. Oh, see right there, those two. All right, and now we have an awesome side fringe, and I just need to do that to the other side. And I love how it hangs at the side. Let me lay it down. How it hangs down at the side, it really accentuates this handkerchief style, which I think is awesome. And when she spins, it's gonna have so much movement. Oh, I just love this style.